Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Tuesday. It is the show today, and I want to welcome everybody for coming on out. I'm in Studio A, and my lovely co-host is in Studio B over there. What's up, Miss Fiona?
Good evening. How are you?
I am still glad to be alive. That's my
Amen.
testimony, and I stick to it. I don't change it because the moment that I'm not alive anymore, then I ain't here no more.
Right.
you know,
It all comes back.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I celebrate the fact that I'm still alive, I'm still here, and I'm glad to be here. With all the aches and pains that go along with it, I'm still glad to be here. Yep. So how was your day
Fine.
today, Miss Fiona?
Today was good. It's still going. It's smooth, and I'm just having a great day. Can't explain
Yeah, all the
it.
kids didn't get to you bad today?
No, they was nice. Hey, it was nice, so they went outside.
They went outside?
They went outside today.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mhm.
Even in the hood? Because, I know yours is in the hood. So y'all let them go outside in the hood?
Absolutely. Kids are kids, and they need to go outside.
Oh, okay. I thought when you got a daycare in the hood, you keep them inside.
No, not at all.
You
Well,
say,
I don't know. Maybe for some, but not for this one.
okay. All right.
Mhm.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, look, we got to
I,
go ahead. Go ahead. Say what you're going to
no,
say.
I was just agreeing. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we got a great show lined up today. We've got my brother in broadcasting coming back to be with us, the Professor Reggie Miles. I'm so excited to have him on the show today. The last time he was on here, he was passing out cliff notes on the various books and worldly experiences that he got. And I know he gonna drop a book on us today. I don't even know what kind it's gonna be, but I know he gonna drop one. So I'm gonna get this announcement out the way so we can get him on the air live with us. How about that? That sound good?
It is. I'm excited. So.
Okay. All right. First thing I want to do is give a shout out to all of the healthcare heroes that are out there in the world, been taking care of all of our loved ones that have been looking out for us all through the pandemic and making sure that some of our loved ones come back to us because some didn't make it. But for those that did, it was because of healthcare heroes doing their job on the front line. And for those that don't know, Corona is still out there taking life away from folks. And I know some folks don't like to believe that, but it is. Corona is not over with. And like I mentioned on last week, I was looking at CNN and they were broadcasting from a hospital over in India, and people were dying on the air. People dying on the steps of the hospital. So it's no joke. People are still dying from this thing called Corona. So I like to celebrate our healthcare heroes as often as I can. That's the reason why I wear this doctor's shirt in solidarity to all of our healthcare heroes. I want them to know that I love them and I appreciate what they do. Don't give up. Y'all hang in there because we need y'all. Okay. Also, want to give a shout out to all of the pastors that are on the front line. The pastors on the front line have just as an important job because they have to keep us motivated and spiritually uplifted. And if you don't have somebody that's doing that job, I can recommend my mentor, Dr. Lloyd Michael Hunt. He has been every day for the last year and a half encouraging people and giving them information that they need to know about what's going on out here and putting a spiritual perspective on it and giving us the understanding that you can't get no place else. So I definitely encourage you to try and find out who he is. If you don't know, you can go over to my YouTube channel. I have a whole playlist devoted to his 30 years plus that I've been knowing him messages and words of inspiration. So You say, how do you find your YouTube channel? Well, let me tell you. You can go over to ask-dr-ron.com. When you get there, scroll up to the top. You will see all of my social media. You'll see Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You'll see all of my links directly to my social media where you can click on them, go there, become my friend, like and share, and you can be a part of the information when it comes out. You'll see it when it's posted. You'll know when it's happening, so you'll be up to date with everything. When you go to the YouTube, you'll be able to scroll down and see a playlist completely devoted to Dr. Hunt. Also, while you're on my website, scroll down and you'll see a lot of good information. And you'll come to our advertisers and our supporters. Now, those are the people that make it possible for us to be on the air and do what we do. And I tell you, we've got a good list of advertisers and people that have made it possible for us to be here. We've got Port Again Sam, which will be coming on the show real soon. We've got a tax preparer. She has still been doing taxes since they extended the tax deadline. So if you need to get your taxes done, Miss Ray, who has been on the show, you need to go over there and check her out. We've got RJ Webb. If you're interested in putting a website together along with maintenance and everything that goes along with it, RJ Webb. Now, these are tried, true, and tested vendors that I know will do what they say they're going to do. So I encourage you to check on the links on the banners, click on them. It'll take you right to their website. You'll see information about them, and you can always check them out. Now, Miss Fiona's got a couple of, one, maybe two, maybe one vendor up there still that she's going to tell us about.
The vendor that I would talk about is Kidtropolis Child Care on 8104 South Hospice Street. They are now enrolling children from 6 weeks to 6 years old, as well as children from 7 to 12 for the before and after school program. If you would like to get in touch with them and go for a tour of their services, you can go on the website, Kidtropolis Child Care CA at wixsite.com, or you can also go to askdrron.com and hit on the banner, and you will receive the website, and you can go on there and get information and how you can take a tour of the center.
And what about your site? You ain't gonna talk about them today? Immaculate.
Oh, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about that.
I know.
But
That's why I'm here to help you.
and I appreciate you. I do. My site is immaculateeducation.com. That is the site where you can find all the services that I provide, as far as tutoring, personal, business, and other aspects or other information. It's very flexible, and if you're interested, you can go to www.immaculateed.com or go back to askdrron.com and click on the banner as well.
There you go. Easy way to get to all roads lead to all the services that we're affiliated with. We also have links to our media affiliates. You can click on them and you'll find some of the affiliates that we work with that are also in the media. So we got a lot of good information over there. You don't want to miss out. Like and share, of course. Check out our vendors. We need your help. So now we get to the time of the show where I am excited to welcome back to the show my good friend in broadcasting. It's so crazy. A couple of years ago, we got hooked up through another good friend and broadcaster, Mr. Boom Shakalaka Chris Bass, who was on a couple of weeks back. And he said, man, y'all should know each other, man. Both of y'all dinosaurs and been doing this thing for, a very long time. And man, y'all was in the room, when Lincoln got shot and all this other stuff. And I'm like, man, you're probably right. I might have seen him and just didn't know who he was, you know. And then we got to talking and stuff, and then found out, man, he stole my tennis shoes and I stole his jacket. So we have been kicking it in the same era and area for a very long time. And I'm like, man, I didn't know them was your shoes, you know. You know? And I was like, man, that's what's up, you know. So welcome back to the show, my brother in broadcasting, Mr. Professor, Reverend Dr. Reggie Miles.
Am
Hello.
I on now?
Yes, sir. You sure are.
I can talk. I can talk now.
Yes, sir. That's that little thing right there in front of you. You know, you just speak into the microphone, you know.
Oh, this. Oh, okay.
There you
All
go.
right. Great, great. How you doing? And I'm honored. I'm honored to be back again as a guest on this program. Thank you, Dr. Ron and Miss Fiona, for having me. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know where this is going to go, but I do know that it's going to be enjoyable. Enjoyable. So I'm going to try to do the best I can in sharing what knowledge that I have, and because it's just crazy out here right now.
Man, you
So,
ain't never lied there, brother. Well, you know, for those that don't remember, the professor he is actually a professor. He teaches broadcasting at one of the Chicago State University, one of the University of Circle Campus schools in Illinois, and broadcasting. And I tell you, um, he is a plethora, a wealth of knowledge, you know, because he will tell you at least 10 times in a conversation how he went to a HBCU and how all his colleagues at HBCUs have made the world turn on its axis. I tell you, boy, he never ceases to amaze me how he works
Mhm.
that into a conversation.
HU, HU, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with having pride in, you know, where you get your educational background, and
But wait, Dr. Ron, I didn't go to a HBCU.
you
I
didn't.
never did. I came from the generation from the time when black people hated themselves.
Ah, okay.
Okay. You know, uh, James didn't say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud until 1968. And I came up in that era where that if you called me black, I was going to fight you because I would rather be called a Negro or
Okay. All
color.
right. Okay.
You know,
Mhm.
that was a time and that was a stigma and that's a mindset that has been upon us that people like to conveniently forget.
Yeah,
But
I kind of remember that. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's part of us, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't start straightening things out until after the Kerner Commission report. You remember that report in 1968, where we got deep into trying to find out about the racism and how we were inherently, mistreated all these years and stuff. And it's amazing that that report is still relevant today.
For real. Yeah. Go ahead, Fiona. I see that look on your face. Go ahead.
You see, I'm like, is it? So how do you feel about the N word being used so freely?
I have like, I don't want to like kind of be phony about that because affectionately I'll use it,
Mhm.
with my friends. Affectionately I'll use it. I'll say my N word,
Mhm.
and then when I greet friends that I have affection that I care for, my brother, I say, oh man, and it'll come out every other word and stuff like that, and it's not like I'm like I don't want to be ashamed because You know, if you look at roots, right? That
Mhm.
was just something that was just put in us.
Mm.
That
Mhm.
was just something that was put in us when our actual identities were being erased. It was replaced by that. Now I will get upset if someone outside of my race or someone that is not my friend.
Mhm.
I'll say, well, why you calling me that? You don't know me, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, why are you calling me that? And then in some cases, when I see evil of a human being, I'll say that that's ISH, N word ISH,
Mhm.
because
Okay.
I look at that as being an evil, you know. And so
Mhm.
it's like multiple definitions for it, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Now, everybody won't get, everybody in my circle won't get called that, won't get the N word put on them affectionately.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they won't do that. Only like I got I got some best friends, maybe three or four left that I've grown up with.
Mhm.
And we'll get on the phone and it's either man or N word.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And that just puts endearment towards us. Now, I'm not going down the street talking about, because I don't know how everybody feels about that.
Right.
Right.
And they've castrated us in broadcasting to even use the word. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, they make it a derogatory, negative. You know, or you're gonna be banned off the air. You know, but I can remember the time when they had musicians and entertainers and Richard Pryor's in the class all by himself. You
Boom.
know,
I was about to bring that up, but go ahead.
yeah, you know, because he told everybody, you know, nigga, 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 now go out and get your ass whooped.
Mhm.
And I was just actually listening to his album the other
Uh-huh.
day. That N word is crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
he made it funny and he made it endearing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know. But he would be like the first one to say, well, you know, if you're with some Caucasian or European people, you can't use that,
Right.
you know. Don't you
Don't
even
do
try.
it. Don't even try it. Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your ass whooped.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, don't even try it, because that'll push a button that, you know, that you
Right.
don't want to see.
Right.
I will become that which you speak of. You
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
I will become this evil, uncouth being. And as far as I'm actually concerned, that is when I use it as an ism or ish, I'm
Mhm.
talking about the evil, devilish nature of another human being, something
Mm-hmm.
that's really dirty, bad. You know,
Mhm.
man, that's N-word ish.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I will put it like that. See, because then when I put it like that, anybody, whoever they are, I could call them that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let me ask you a question, Professor. You know, so do you think that the N word being banned and stigmatized has damaged media or has crippled us? You know, by
Well,
in any kind of way in association to that word.
Well, you know, when you say media, then we need to determine what media you actually talking about. Because if you're talking about radio and records, I mean that's you know that's every other word in a lyric. I mean
In hip
in a
hop,
rap
right?
song,
Yeah.
right? You know, so and then the seminal song that I consider the, I mean, but which had a very positive message, but it was straight up in words are afraid of revolution. The
Mm-hmm.
Last Poets, which was it wasn't it was conscious. That was conscious poetry.
Right.
It wasn't. It wasn't the low class nature of some of the poetry that's produced today. You know, a lot of poetry a lot of the poetry or hip hop is just talking about this present state that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and a lot of times, and I might be off base, I'm not sure, but a lot of times that's used to that's used to glorify a bad situation or a bad position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm not necessarily for that, because we should be uplifting the stuff and uplifting ourselves. And then positive lyric uh in the song that uses that word, they won't let us hear it,
Mm-hmm.
because they never let us hear the last poet song, N words are scared of revolution. You know, you have to like get that on YouTube, and you like have to download that. But if you listen to that song and you really, really listen to it, man, it'll make you like, wow, uh, we need to check ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And um, we haven't, we need to have a self-assessment of what we're doing, within our culture. We need to have that assessment a lot. And that assessment should not be uh, regulated or tested by or presented to us by, anybody else. Hold on one second. Should not be presented to anybody else. I mean, presented to us through or from anyone else. We need to just look at what we're doing ourselves and take care of what we do ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
without having some other gatekeeper telling us this, that, and other. Now, and then you talk about comedy. Okay, in comedy, the N word it's just used, man, by everybody. Eddie Griffin,
Mm-hmm.
Richard Pryor, I
Eddie
think,
Murphy, yeah.
yeah, everybody used it. So
Yeah, Red
it's
Fox, even going back, you know.
yeah, and that's just like telling them, if you try to take that away, right, that's like gonna dilute half of the stuff we do. Even Chappelle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just like telling these ladies that doing these rap videos to put on some clothes. you know, you know, you know, you got these well endowed women, right? And then you
Uh-huh.
want to straighten it up. And the
Mm-hmm.
industry is saying sex sells, and so you need to put on some clothes. How she gonna
Right.
make some money? you
Right.
know?
Right. Look, Lil Kim was butt naked all the time, you know. I couldn't tell you
True.
a
Pop rappers.
song she ever sang, but I can tell you probably about 10 videos she was in where I didn't count it, none of the coochie hair she had, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, bro, you are 100% correct. And now she looked like somebody that went through a plastic surgery place and they made, oops, oh, did I do that? Oops, did I do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she,
Man, that fame thing, going after
yeah,
that fame thing as an artist, man, it's like you going through it's like, you remember when you would get the hamburger, the regular meat, right?
yeah,
And you know that old thing that we used to have, that meat grinding thing that would come out and
right.
make the doggone, would take a steak and then
Turn it into
turn
a
it into
burger. Right,
hamburger,
right,
right?
right.
So that's that fame thing. When you go in and you trying to, once you accept that money that they give to you, right? You got to maintain your stance yourself from the standards that they say you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out, if black is beautiful, why are you altering yourself?
Yeah,
Why is anybody doing that? Why are you
yeah.
cutting your nose off? Why you're lightening your skin? But
Mm-hmm.
that's like That's like,
Yeah.
one of those conspiracy. Aha.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's one of them confusion type things, because that colorism thing that's always between us, man, that didn't just start, man. That's been going on since the plantation days, Uh, the lighter blacks always got whatever,
Yeah. Treated better
And
than the dark
yeah,
skin. Yeah.
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 So
So you're reflecting back to the Willie Lynch, what is that? A theory of the Willie Lynch speech? You know,
well,
yeah,
yeah, of
because
how to control a slave. Now,
yeah,
yeah, I've
yeah.
read that,
Yeah, so
so
it depends on whose viewpoint you hear from. Some people say it never happened. Some people said it didn't happen. I mean, it did happen, but
Mhm.
it just depends on who you're talking to. So, you know, um, taking out your crystal ball, looking forward into the future, because there's nothing new under the sun. All things come back around.
absolutely.
So, would you say the N word will make another resurgence down the road?
I don't actually think it's gonna go nowhere. I don't think it's. See, we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful on how the buffers tell us how we should communicate among ourselves. See, there's a ring of black people that protects the elite, called buffers. And whatever the buffers want to say about it, that you don't necessarily have to go along with what the buffers say. If the buffers want to say, well, yeah, we're not going to use it, then that's cool. But that's not going to filter down to the streets. Streets are going to say, or going to express themselves the way they want to express themselves. And here, the elite will always want that to happen, because they'll steadily be trying to capitalize off of what we do in the streets. You understand? What? Oh, you mean that's what they're doing now? Oh man, we got to find a way to color that market so they can. And that's what happens each and every time we come up with something. When they come up, they say, "Oh, what we can make? Oh, yeah, huh?" And they'll put their people on it, get their market, start branding it, and the next thing you know, we buying it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, so as long as the elite can profit off of it, it's not going anywhere.
There you
It's
go.
not, because in the back, and we won't hear it as prevalently, but if eavesdropping was illegal, and you could go by and listen to them in the room, and they're talking about us, they're not calling us by our names. They're calling us by that one name.
Right,
Mhm.
right, for
Mhm.
real. And you ain't never lied there. Go ahead, Fiona. I know you got something for him. Go ahead.
So on Sunday, our Black History Moment was talking about African American vernacular. How do you think that, in your opinion, how do you think that plays into the N word and just the differentiation of how Black people talk versus the white English, if I could say?
Yeah, okay, against the king's language, right?
Change language, right? Hmm.
And that's kind of like hard for me, because I think at the core, see, we're speaking through that language, and the question is, where's my own language?
Hmm.
So, because there are some ways in which we use words that are not in existence in the European language.
Hmm.
And if you want to hear an example of that, and that's what is it, linguistics or whatever.
Hmm.
I'm not really that deep on that, but here in the movie Cry Freedom, right? Stephen Biko, the story of his life, and when they were asking Africans, uh, the Africans was telling the Englishmen that we don't have a word for aunt and uncle. The way we describe it, which is more powerful to them, is my brother's son. or my brother's daughter and stuff like that. So we need to find out the definitions of how our people, our ancestors, used certain words, and then we need to redefine it in a text of today. So we need to like kind of like move, and then we can do it in English ourselves. But we have to study what other African cultures and civilizations did, and then start picking and sifting out the best of that as it applies to us here in America. Today we got to get some of that, because if you look at any other nationality, they are always drawing upon where they came from. You know,
Mhm.
they're always doing that, and so for us, that means uh, we have to have an entire study of the continent of Africa and what the different tribes did.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta have a wide ranging study, and uh, then sift out those things that are good and not so good for us.
Now,
You know,
now,
that's
now,
that's.
Professor,
Go
you
ahead.
you you do remember back in the 70s, we in America had picked up the East African dialect of Swahili. Remember that?
Okay. Yes.
Everybody was running around talking about a Baragani, and all those African words from Swahili. And would you say that that was a culturally uplifting moment in our past? Because if you start speaking Swahili to some folks now, they're gonna be like, "What you talking about?" You know, because it has been lost. It didn't carry on. It didn't follow through.
Uh, it'll be kind of like hard for all of us to identify with one particular language.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll have to take the best words or the most positive from all the different dialects that are there. Because anytime that there was a presentation here in America, and you could take this to Garvey, okay, you could take this to Garvey, where there was any pointing towards us learning who we are and what we were all about, oh no, we can't have y'all learning that,
Mm-hmm. Right.
man. We can't have you learning about yourself. No, dude, because
Right.
then you'll start thinking in a different way. So now, uh, with the one thing I could say, I would say, uh, we'd have to come up with a general consensus of like the best of everything from our people.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know, right? We don't know. There are sketches of our body design or our silhouettes or whatever, and I think one place is in England, and then I did happen to mention this before. We can deal with our DNA and stuff like that. They got the DNA now where you can find out where you came from.
Right.
But in the slavers, they drew pictures of the African bodies,
Mm-hmm.
you
That's
know,
right.
to say what region that these particular slaves came from.
Right.
And so we got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to start somewhere, but you have to be vigilant to find out the best of everything. Now this is what's going to happen. Now, if we begin to find this, get on this journey of trying to really find out who we are and put together who we are. The first ones that are going to argue about it is the buffers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Oh no, we can't do that. No, no,
Yeah,
no. Yeah, no, 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 no. No, 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 no,
yeah,
no. Y'all
yeah,
not really from over there. Y'all really from here, Yeah, yeah. Look,
yeah.
then they'll switch it around. Once upon a time in America, they used to say if you got 1% black blood, you black.
Yeah.
So now they'll switch it around and say, if you got 1% European, you European,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Anything to keep us as a
Uh-huh.
mechanism to keep feeding their growth.
Right. Their agenda. Yeah,
Their
yeah,
growth.
yeah.
As long as we're doing that, then we're fine. But once any light shines within our own mind about separating or doing anything differently, then it's a problem. It's
Yeah.
an issue because they can't lose us as a consumer base.
No. No, man,
They
we
can't do
represent
that, man.
look, we represent trillions of dollars, brother.
Yeah,
Right.
Why you think they've been trying to push us back out into, oh, the world is open. Go spend your money. Oh yeah, we need your money. Bring your money. Bring your money. We don't care
Mhm.
if you get corona, but bring your money. You
ab-
know, you know,
ab-
they've been
absolutely.
doing that for the last what month, 2 years, last year and some months. Oh no, the world is open. Come on, bring your money. We need your money.
While they were making money at the same time, not every industry shut down, or not everything shut to the point where they weren't making money. You got these mass things that done made everybody came up with this mass business. Everybody that I have bought every kind of mask, the lenses, the cloth,
Uh-huh.
devices, and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of industries have changed, even with what we do. Okay, right now, uh, the social mechanism, what I call social radio and social communication. I bought me a new doggone mixer. I got a new microphone, and I got all these things. So there were some parts of the industry, that was still vibrant. The digital downloads, the music, right? Because I started, I started going back doing playing music, and then I got a new camera, and I got all this kind of stuff. So it was some areas couldn't produce or couldn't continue the way they were doing, like many in the service industry going out with the restaurants and stuff like that. Those places suffered, but electronics and a whole lot of other things, man,
They
that was
blossomed.
booming.
They sold out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they sold
yeah.
out. Yeah. Now, since you mentioned all of the media outlets that you have, you want to share some of them? I know in the morning that I must give you a compliment. It's hurting to my heart. Every morning, this boy is up bright and early at the crack of dawn playing gospel music. And he does a doggone good job of it. I tell you, I roll over. I don't even be out the bed. I got one eye open and one eye closed. And I hit that Twitch in the morning. I'm like, yeah, he's there. He don't miss a day. He's there. And then you got in the evening, you be up doing your R&B, and man, you can tell them better than I can. But boy, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Well, then I stopped doing things on Saturday. It's Saturday in the daytime, in the evening, but Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. at 6 a.m. I'm sorry, at 6 a.m. from my Facebook page. I launch in 3 locations. I do Facebook Live, Mixcloud, and Twitch, and I do a program that I call, the Praise Party. uh, and it's grown. It went from a little congregation of 5 or 6 people, and sometimes I get as many as 60 people, and a lot of people are not. I don't know that they're listening until after I read the download stats from my Mixcloud, and I see that that the praise party is moving, it's expanding, and I only do that. I started that because we were in pandemic mode, and people were hurting for whatever reason. And I just got up one day. Look, let me do this. Let me start doing this. I started playing R&B, and I tested a gospel song, and then just something went over me, and it just said, well, hey, You need to start playing this every morning. And people come in, I mean, faithfully. I mean, faithfully. They come in to be inspired to do whatever they do. So, whatever they're going to do out there in the world. So, as far, I'm not a guy that, I know scripture, but I'm not a preacher. I'm a proclaimer. I'm a minister of this music. And when I feel something coming from somewhere, let me share it. Some people, they'll write in the chat, they'll say, well, pray for my this or pray for that. I'm looking for healing. And then I go looking for a song that's talking about healing and things like that. Monday, I call it Marvelous Monday. Tuesday is Triumphant, Testimonial, Thankful Tuesday. Wednesday is Word, Worship, and Way Back Wednesday. Thursday, Testimony, Triumph again. And Friday, it's Feel Good Friday. And so Saturday, I do what I really like doing as a DJ. I mean, I like them both, but I never could break into the dusty music area on radio like I wanted to, because I had Herb Kent, Richard McGee, Richard Steele, all those great guys that were in front of me. But now I get a chance to do my thing on Saturday from 8 until midnight, and I'm finding out that there are more people on the east and the west coast that listen to me more so than the folk in Chicago. And I mean, it's really crazy. And even down south in Texas, and in Atlanta and places like that. So that's incredible. That happens on Saturday. And then I just launched my own radio station. Okay, and I'm going to put my hand in that. And so I have a cloud service that I call WBOE. And I'm working on the internet. I'm working on my own website. I did purchase Reggie. I own ReggieMiles.com. I also have ReggieMiles.net, which is for my educational stuff. So now it's a matter of me shifting all of this digital stuff and then repurposing it, and because you want to have your own place in cyberspace. Just like AskDrRon.com, I want to build my own house and I have my own territories. And when doing these type of things, because I want to be able to. My passion is to deal with the steppers and the dance community. I also love radio and the communications industry, and I also love history as well. So it's now a way of trying to get that golden thread to stitch all these things together. But it's really all about uh, me as a black man communicating blackly or people of colorish to people of color. I don't want to be bounded by, the canons of anybody else. I want my own people to tell me, well, we don't want to hear this, and it should be done like that. I don't want anybody else to tell me how I should speak to my people. I don't want to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, man, beautiful. And you're doing such a wonderful job. I know it pains me to tell you how good you're doing, but you're doing such a wonderful job. Yeah, I'm still waiting on you to invite me on one day, man, because I can go there with you now. I can talk history. I can talk because I was like 2 steps behind you. I know you're older than me, but I was 2 steps behind you in a lot of this stuff in history. So I'm looking forward to it. And then you also have, which we're going to switch over to now.
Oh,
You got a
I forgot.
role. You got a role that you play in a very important broadcast that we do on each and every Thursday with Street News Now.
Street News Now.
Yeah, every Thursday from 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, as the people can see on the screen. There's 5 guys and you, the public, that come over to hang out with us as we chop up, world events and issues and topics. And I tell you, we've had some very controversial topics that we've talked about, and we are delicately trying not to get banned off of Facebook because we've been told that we had to be careful on how we say certain things, Otherwise, Facebook would ban us. So we've been delicately, trying not to do that because we can go hard sometimes, but we only speaking the truth, you know,
Right.
And before I forget, shout out to our brother in broadcasting, Francisco. Today's his birthday. So we're going to give him a shout out on his birthday today.
Yay, Yoda.
Yeah. So we giving him a shout out on his birthday today. When he see this, he'll say, "Oh, they did remember," you know, you know. But Reggie and I, since we have bonded, it has been a beautiful thing. And I ain't trying to puff him up too much, but man, I tell you, this guy every week will break out a cliff note on a book, okay, that he has had the honor and privilege to experience, and he'll break it down, the whole cliff note version of it. For those that don't know what cliff notes are, I mean, he's going to give you a summary of the book, tell you where you can find it and where it's at, page 365 of this book right here. Go check it out.
I got that from my granddad.
Okay.
I got that from my grandfather. My grandfather is, although he's passed, but he was a self-made man. He knew numbers and he knew business and he knew how to carry business. But my granddad couldn't read. He couldn't read. And from the time I was like, and if I might get emotional, I might cry because, I think about this. I would come home, I would jet home from school, right? And as soon as I get in there, I would get in the house. I'm running upstairs. Daddy, I'm running upstairs. And then I'm like opening my book and I start reading to my dad. I started reading to him. So this went on for many, many, many years. My grandfather eventually did some things, that I was very proud of what he was doing. So as he was transitioning, and I was 21. I was doing my own thing. I was like filling my own oats, and like I wasn't going by the house as much as I should. So I went by the house, and my mother and grandmother, you need to go up there and talk to your daddy. So I ran up there, and so I'm talking to him, and I was like apologizing, telling Dad, I said, "Oh man, I was trying to do what I was doing in the world, and this, that, and other, being a DJ and all of this, and I wasn't there for you. I just feel bad." And so my granddad, he looked at me and he said, "Boy, don't you ever feel bad." I say, "Why, Daddy?" He said, "I'm gonna tell you something." He said, "When you used to bring your lessons to me and you would talk to me every day after school?" I said, "Yeah, Daddy." He said, "That's when you was teaching me how to read." And I think I left out the room and I cried for 3 days in behind.
You say, how do you find your YouTube channel? There, and you can
3 days in behind.
You say, how do you find?
Did I get locked out?
No, you still there. You still there.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. I was hearing. I thought I heard something, but
yeah, I did too. I was like, man, that was a replay. You hit the replay button. Look, he got all them toys over there. He hit the wrong button.
Yeah, and so it's getting around to Father's Day, and then I really, my father was around. My granddad, he was like the one that really raised me, and when he started, when he was reading, when I was in high school and stuff, and he was reading, well, he was bringing stuff to me because he turned into a researcher. He turned into a researcher himself. in things that he was doing. My grandfather belonged to the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why when you hear me talk a lot of times, you'll hear me stand firmly on nationality and birthright.
Right.
You'll hear me stand firmly on that. I'll go tooth and nail, all of him, all of him that's left in me will come out. So when you talk about Black Lives Matter, the first thing I'm gonna tell you is that I'm not black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not something that's painted, stained, or dyed. I have a nationality.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I'll always ask, what country is named black? You know, Tell me where that country is. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you'll always hear me say, well, a proper noun is something that's capitalized. Why do they say when they refer to black people, the B is small?
Mm.
So I'm always saying that, but those were the kind of things that he put in me.
Mm-hmm.
And me growing up not knowing that this man who I had way up here, next to God, I was teaching him how to read.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was learning to be a teacher at 5 and 6 and 7 years old. Didn't know that I was going to walk into that, but I walked into that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's been a joy, to just want to share and just help somebody move from where they are into a different level.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to say this. What you bring to Street News Now is always profound and positive. We all have views and opinions that we bring together on this show that is so unique. This is something that you will never ever see anyplace else. Five brothers coming together from different places, West Coast, East Coast, and the Midwest. And we bring it together in such a way where somebody can always take something away from what we're doing. And we're all committed to it and devoted to it. And it's been a success story up to this point. And I look for bigger and better successes to come out of this. And, I didn't know that your drive to have achieved what you have achieved came from your grandfather. But I applaud you and your grandfather for the successes that you all have had and allowing you to be able to do that because you do it without paper or pencil.
boy, boy, book the numbers without paper. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
He
mean,
will
yes,
bring,
sir.
he break it down, boy. I'm telling you, boy. When he start up, I said he finna give us a book now. I'm glad it's being recorded so I can go back and catch it later. But
Yeah.
yeah, but for those that are not aware of us, I promise you, if you come one time, you're gonna get hooked. Street News Now. We broadcast live on Facebook and on YouTube every Thursday from 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, what would you say is your biggest thrill to date on dealing with Street News Now? Let me just
Oh,
ask that.
just being with the legend Lee Michaels.
Yeah.
Just being with the legend Lee Michaels. I mean, I'm just telling you. When I was on the East Coast, teaching at that place, he was working for Radio One at that time, and I picked up the phone and identified myself. Reggie Miles, you might remember me. I was at KKC. Man, he said, You ready to come down? I went to wherever I know it was in Maryland where their offices was. I went there and he talked to me like 2.5 hours, about what I wanted him to talk about. And then we spent another hour and a half just talking about the history of Chicago radio. So just being in his presence, is that's like boom. And then I get a chance to, and I'm like, I see you never hired me when we were in Chicago, and then when I throw all these characters out on him and stuff like that, Lee said, "Oh, this boy, I don't know where he come," and that just thrills me.
Yeah.
You never know, but that has been the thing. And then working with Bass, Chris Bass, that's been great. And then working with you, that's been great. And then with the Spice from Yoda,
Mm-hmm.
Francesco. I mean, that's been great because I love his stand because that'll bring my roots to the surface. Some of the things he say, my roots will grow and sprout out. they they can come out the ground. 'Cause,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. I have to tell everybody constantly. He from New York, y'all. He from New York. That's the way
yeah,
he is. He from New York, y'all. New Jersey, New York, they like that. Y'all just gotta understand. He from New York. You know,
and,
yeah, and it's difficult sometimes. They don't understand what New York is like. Because I tease Fiona all the time because she from Connecticut. So she ain't too far from it, but she understands. And see, Fiona gets scared. She said, I got friends in New York. I can't say that.
And to me, it's all the same. I don't
Uh-huh.
know the difference. Just
Oh, baby, it's a difference.
but, but you can't keep talking about us. So
Yeah, I do. All the time, proudly.
well, not probably.
Look, man, we got to get out of here. It's been a whole hour already. We got about
Oh
3 minutes before the show is over with. Professor, what is it that you would like to leave with the people on this week?
uh, man, Ron, listen. I just have to go to the line from my opening and on Street News Now, man. How's your funk in Teleki?
All right, now you got to explain where it
wow.
come from because you just can't say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, from George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic. Funk and Teleki. Look it up. It is an actual word. I'm not going to tell. I want you to look it up. But it does have something has something to do with being cool. How's your funk in Teleki or funk in Teleki?
Yeah, because she was sitting there looking like, what the hell did he just say? Did he cuss? Did he cuss or something? Because she didn't never
you don't,
heard that before, right?
you've never heard
No,
that, Miss Fiona?
not at all.
Look it
You
up.
taught me something. I'm going to.
Look it up.
Look,
Look
she
it up.
gonna be
And,
you.
and
She gonna be using that every week now.
and when you
like
look it up, you're going to smile. You're going
Yeah,
to smile.
yeah, yeah. Well,
I
thank
will.
you, bro. Look, I appreciate you, man. I look forward to working with you. Long time, long time. I appreciate you taking time out of your many, many, many broadcasts and schedules that you have. And he calls Lee a legend, but Professor Reggie Miles is a legend in his own right, and a lot of people don't know it. But those of us who have had the honor and the privilege to get close enough to you, to know you and to work with you, man, look, we love you and appreciate you. So I thank you again. I can't say it enough, man. Thank you for coming on, hanging out with me, man. Appreciate it. You know.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to express myself and thank you for the honor.
Oh man, it's all love, bro. We're gonna do it again. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. I might bring Melvin the next time we come.
That's his alter ego. Yeah, that's his alter
Uh-oh.
ego. He got multiple personality disorder. So
Yeah.
he'll put on a pair of glasses and tip all back and go on to his little groove thing. Yeah, he got it going on, baby. You're gonna have to check him out.
Melvin.
Yeah, Melvin. Miss Fiona, what you got for us? Tell us something before we get out of here.
Professor Miles, I appreciate your energy, even on the show today and when I catch the Street News Now show. I appreciate it. Um, I don't have anything. You know what resonated with me today is the word roots. I heard that several. I heard you say that several times today. So I would end in, sometimes you have to check yourself, and so you have to go back to your roots. Have a
Amen.
great week.
Amen. Well, look,
Amen.
I want to thank everybody who took time to watch the show, participated in the show. We didn't get many comments on this week because he was so deep. He didn't leave room for nobody to say nothing. But it's a beautiful thing. Look, let me throw this up on y'all right quick. We have our information where you can make your donations, all of our uh, opportunities to bless us, keep us going, doing what we're doing. Go over to ask-dr-ron.com. Support all of our vendors, support all of our sponsors. Please support us. We need your support. Like and share. Go to the YouTube channel. This will be posted within the next hour. You can take the link, send it all over the internet, let people see what we're doing over here. We appreciate you all greatly. And we will see you guys on Thursday. So that's it for this week. Peace and love.